the basics of RS.
Now, something we normally do in this training, we're not doing it that much this time. We talk about how you have a shift in teaching methodology. I want to give you a small analogy that will apply to teachers. He talked about music festival students and how people go and do the, what do you call them, oral skills, right? Now, I'll give you an example. This used to happen to me when I was in high school. When you are going for the midterm, the music students normally after, they have music festival, right? And then they have to come back and do the exams at night. Does that happen sometimes? Or in the evening, right? So this is a student who was in front of a panel performing a poem, okay? Which poems do you have? Which is a popular poem that students perform? I don't remember Lapobo, right? So student ako pale Lapobo, not too tall, not too thin, not too short, not too this. Then they got to the class and they asked, if you are performing a poem in front of people, how do you make it more interesting? And this student, instead of remembering what they were doing on stage, they started remembering what the teacher said. This is the divide between education and learning. Because this student has been on stage and they have a certificate because of performing Lapobo, the poem, right? They used body language, tone of variation, all those things. They used them. But when they get an exam question, they can't connect what they just did and what they're supposed to. So they start going to look for what the teacher said. And as teachers, it is part of our job to disconnect ourselves from the learning. We are supposed to be part of the learning, but we're not supposed to be the providers of the learning. Learning is a journey that a student and a teacher take together. Sindio? Munashikana mukono. Like today, I've been asking myself this question. Okay, no, I have this question asked many times. Why English teacher, not teacher of English? I have genuinely never gotten the answer to that question. And I used to be one of those two things, English teacher or teacher of English. But she just told me I cannot be an English teacher because my passport is not British. Otherwise, how can I be an English teacher, right? I am a teacher of English, not an English. We can still argue about this later. But I am getting information here, right? This gentleman has taught me a lot of things. And as a trainer or as a teacher, you need to focus on learning as much as your students are learning. If you are the only one teaching them and you're not learning from them, then we have a problem. In the same way when it comes to IT, as I say, it's not supposed to be a tool. It's supposed to be part of the process. Traditionally, what happens traditionally in the classroom is that when you are trying to get content for RS, some teachers have struggled in the past, like, how do we connect what is here with what is in the books, right? As an example, I don't know what, Nicholas, where is Nicholas? I think he's outside. There's a teacher from St. Augustine, I think it's Mr. Ochieng. He did a very simple demonstration. He had his students perform a poem and recorded it on his phone, okay? Then put it on his computer and upload it on RS, and then put questions about that poem. So he comes to class now, students, go to RS, go to local content folder, open this folder, and the students see a poem performed by their classmates. Are they going to forget that? They cannot. No. And you see, it does not require a lot of resources. Just take your phone, take a video, and put it on there. And then someone says, I don't know how to edit videos. We learned a very interesting way of editing videos. If you take your phone and take a 5-minute video, but you only want 3 minutes, how do you edit it? Who knows how to edit videos like that? Anyone with those skills? I do. I'm sure Judy does, and Eva. You might not have the skills, but you have the tools. Very simple. Take a video, 3 minutes, send it to your friend on WhatsApp. WhatsApp gives the option of cutting the video. So you clip the part you need, you send it to your friend, they upload it for you, right? Because what we need to do is learn how to get our own solutions. I learned that from some teachers. That's how they were doing it. So here I am trying to show them to use Office software to edit videos. They're like, come slowly. We can just use WhatsApp. And it was working. Okay? Yeah. As I said, the reason why as Kenyans/Africans, we consume information because of not creating enough of that information, okay? Part of these examples are seen right now in the media. If you go to BBC to read stories about Africa, about what? genocide, blah, 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 right? But that's because a lot of us, we cannot complain about that. We need to get involved and change the narrative of those stories, okay? So when you're engaging your students, please encourage them and show them how to upload, not just content they are getting on the internet, like their own essays. If a student writes an essay, then you're like, this is a very, very good essay, right? You can have a folder in RS where you're putting good essays. So at a Form 3 student writing a perfect essay, it can be read by a Form 1 or a Form 4 student. And the more we keep doing this, when these kids finish school, they have WhatsApp, they have Facebook, they have Instagram, they have WordPress, they have so many things, right? And using those softwares, they are going to learn how to create stories about themselves that are not about pity. Because when you are told by someone from North America talk about Kenya, most of us start singing problems. Sindio? Na kujanga na wazungu wa mashule fulani hapa sitataja. Principal akiketi na wewe na wazungu wanaanza kuiba. Shida. Sindio? And then the teacher akikuja anasema hata classroom. It's good to ask, but we also need to say, we have done this much. Can you help us? Here. On behalf of Nicholas and everyone else, I will applaud the schools. Because we went to the schools last week and yesterday. Akaambia walimu, please put a socket here. And when he came back yesterday, most of you, I know Mr. Kateri is working very hard on his floor. Most of you had put all those sockets. So we are really taking this seriously. So Jogu, where do you want us to go next?